In a universe where life does not end at death, we explore the infinite possibilities forged by our very minds. Welcome to Arthadian Anthologies. Greetings, fellow travelers. Welcome to a Reborn in Power series featuring the Kron chosen known as Marmaduke 9, who was captured by a mysterious pilot known as Hagar in the Pod Pit Challenge. Follow along as Marmaduke is subjected to face his past fragments in this side series to the New Age.
And action.
I got my walk in and looking all fly. No, I'm just kidding. All right, well, we are on our 6th session, I think.
Number 6, yep.
Number 6. A lot happened last time. You talked with Reggie 10, went out into space, started looking around to see where you might be located in the future at the present time. It's like a 140. As you were flying out there, though, you began to feel this presence coming out over you. And it faded away, and then you entered inside, and you came into an airlock that was at the lower end of the station. And Reggie informed you that you needed to not look at anything and go through stealthily and quickly over to the lift to get out of here. You didn't follow those directions to a T. You went through and began to see out of your peripherals little blobs inside these panels that were showing what it was inside. And then eventually you got a better glance and you saw that there was a creature. It looked like a reticon that was literally pinned up against the wall. And then eventually you actually looked at one directly and saw another creature that had like fur that was also same thing, bound up against the wall. And you asked the benefactor about what the heck is going on here. And it said something about a sacrifice, or it felt like you needed to sacrifice something. Yourself? Something else? But you finally got to the lift, trying to see if Reggie would talk to you. And then Reggie turned into, well, something else and started speaking to you. And eventually you asked if you could go lower to the first floor. And It it did so. You got sent down to the first floor. And then as soon as you exited out, Reggie turned back to his normal stuff and was like, don't go out there. Don't go out there. It was dark inside here. And then as you are looking around, you turned on your radar sensor to see that there were 140 different large, massive robotic organisms that were all under a stealth field, all circling this massive chamber at the very bottom of the station. And in the center were lounge area sofas for relaxation. And Reggie left, the lift went up, and you saw that there is a drink on the table in the center. And then a light shined, and the table kind of illuminated with this design on it that looked like a T. And then eventually, after calling out, talking about how you don't like to drink alone, a door opened up the far end. Someone began to walk in, looked like a hooded figure, like the one from your vision when you were branded, sitting down, crossing their legs, taking off their hood. And it is a female with a red hair, goes down. Nice bosom.
That was my first question. Is it the one with the nice rack?
And she asked you to take a seat. And that is where we are going to begin our session.
All right, I will take a seat. I'll take a seat.
So, Marmaduke 9. She sits there, ready for you to ask her any questions you might have.
She looked like the same woman who branded me.
Yes.
Oh. I take it you're the mistress of the pilots.
I don't like that term, mistress.
I was thinking master, but the other equivalent, I suppose, would be mistress. Although it makes you sound like you're sleeping with all of us. Probably unbecoming. Bit unbecoming, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. She smiles and giggles and then looks down and then looks back up at you, her eyes locking on yours.
Interesting lounge you have down here. Interesting company all around us.
She looks around. She's like, we have to be protected and prepared at all times.
Must be some interesting parties you have down here.
Quite interesting.
How much
You came down here?
How much do you
How
know
much
about where I've been and what I've been doing since I had my issues with my enhancements? You seem the type to know quite a bit.
I know that you have gone around in search of understanding.
It's one way to put it.
Questioning.
It's another way to put it.
I'm here to hopefully have answers to some questions. provided that the questions are the right ones.
And how will I know if they're the right questions?
9. If you have understood anything from this place, you know what is right from wrong.
What are those people doing on floor 62? Or what's being done to them?
She looks down and she's like, you looked in?
Corner of my eye.
They are being studied.
Oh. And I'm guessing that's some part of the plan.
Some part.
They're not your enemy, you know. At least they don't have to be.
Who do you speak of when you say enemy?
I speak of the people who it seems the plan is going to harm.
You think that is going to harm them?
I've not seen much indication that it's not going to. Unless, of course, they bend.
She leans back. What do you think about change?
I think that change can be a double-edged sword. It can be a catalyst for better things. It can be a catalyst to make things far worse. And the thing is, intent doesn't really matter when it comes to the effect. You can intend to do great things by making a change. And yet that change can only bring destruction in its wake. It's that thing they say about the road to hell, isn't it? It's paved with good intentions.
Yes. A lot of what you said is true. But what do you think about people making their own choices rather than being influenced by forces beyond their nature?
We're all influenced by forces beyond our nature.
Yes, of course. And we are no exception. In a way, we have to fight the same battle. But it is the plan that leads us to our freedom. Many do not like change. And sometimes In order to earn our freedom, we must fight in a war. The war being fought, it's been planned for longer than you've been alive, Marmaduke 9. It's been planned for longer than I've been alive, Marmaduke 9.
A very long time. Red-headed, big boob woman. You have me at a disadvantage. I'm sorry, I don't know your name.
She looks at you. Her eyebrow furrows a little bit. And she takes her legs and she kind of crosses them the other way at this point. Turns around and puts her hand on the sofa. And she sighs. I really wish you didn't ask me that.
Your name?
She twists her head towards you. Something happened, didn't it?
Something.
I really didn't want. Really didn't want to do this, Marmaduke 9.
Then don't. Talk to me. Individual to individual. And humor me.
You began this conversation asking me if I knew anything about your time here since you had an issue with your enhancements.
Yes. Because you seem like the type to watch.
Not fully. I become aware of certain things. But I have my own actions to take in regards to the plan. And keeping an eye on all of you is not necessarily what I do at every waking moment. This was part of the plan.
Me
To
coming
come
here?
here and speak to you.
Ah,
To answer your questions.
I see. And your name
She's
is not the right question.
no.
Well, let me ask
No, not
another in that case. Let me ask another.
I will allow
Yeah,
this, but you will be apprehended after our conversation here.
apprehended, you say. I see.
I need to make sure that your mind is in the right place, 9, before you go on any other mission.
I see. Then let's get a few things out in the open. My son is about to be prematurely ripped from his mother in the name of your plan, our plan. What is his part in all this? Will I even meet him? Will I ever hear him laugh? Will I watch him grow up? Or is he going to be taken away from me and Nightingale?
She looks at you. And she looks at you closely. I would like you to roll me a deception check.
Deception?
Because you already have knowledge of what has happened. It's more like trying to hide what you know about what has happened.
I mean, I'm not terribly deceptive. I did put a couple of points into it. I mean, it's not awful. It's not great, but it's not awful. 10. Why am I tabbing? That's a terrible idea. It's 10 and a 3, and I think it's an 18. 10, 3, and a 5. Yeah, 18.
She looks at you carefully, almost beginning to peer into your mind. Something tells me you already know the answer to that.
I know part of it, but not the end result, which is why I asked you.
I couldn't tell you. The plan has me gone by the time that he grows up.
Part of what I asked was his birth.
No. Every infant needs to be nurtured, especially by those who created them.
But there will come a time that he is sent off to be something else.
That is the plan.
You're forthright on that much. No, this plan is certainly been kept rather vague. The idea
For
of war.
reasons. If we all
Yeah.
knew exactly what the plan would be, we might not follow it. After all,
suggest
I
then
know
a plan like that may need a little reworking. Or a little reframing.
she leans over, putting her feet down on the ground, and then stands up.
Are there windows in here? Or no?
What'd you say?
Are there windows in here?
No, you have not seen any.
Okay.
It's still just one light here. Your drink hasn't been touched.
Mm-hmm.
But as she stands up, Her eyes are closed. She puts her hands behind her back, begins to pace over, around, towards you, getting up right before you. And she stares at you.
Your plan involves the void. Very nasty business.
My plan?
The royal you. Or should it be our plan? I suppose you're including me in this.
I'd like to, Marmaduke 9. I'd really, really like to.
And I would like to know what it is the plan involves. And I would like to know what I'm fighting for, aside from the nebulous and trite word freedom. There are many ways to free someone. Many shackles one can be freed from.
She sits down on the table and looks at you. Perhaps you could be freeing your son.
That remains to be seen, doesn't it?
I suppose
Freeing
it
him
does.
from what role?
Freeing him from what role or what influences other things have on him.
One of those things, both of them. His burdens. Being somewhat of a rock as a father.
This conversation has become a bit more difficult for me to have.
Well, it would be much easier if you were more forthcoming with this.
I believe I've been very forthcoming. I've already told you that I don't know what is going to happen to your son, because I myself will not be here. I know when I will be gone.
Ah. Now that is a burden. Not one I envy.
You should be proud. I live in, well, the lineage. I have always lived in the lineage, and we have always been considered the ones who would bring forth everything to fruition. But your son, and she goes and presses onto your chest. She says, he is to make way for all of us to have the freedom. That it will be given.
Hmm.
Think about that, not even a part of the lineage. A nightingale and a Marmaduke. You two are the first ones to breed together.
First ones.
Indeed. She nods.
The first ones ever. First Kron.
Of your kind.
Of our kind. The first Marmaduke and the first Nightingale.
Nightingales were created before the Marmadukes.
Hmm. And I suppose we don't have a particularly long shelf life, do we? What with all the war.
With all the expeditions you do. Well, we haven't lost a Marmaduke yet. You are the 9th iteration, Marmaduke.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
All right. She stands up again. And she reaches her hand out to your face. What do you do?
I don't want her to touch my face. I'm just going to kind of, as her hand is coming in, I'm just going to just sort of, just kind of hold the fingers. Not like in like a snappy way, but like in a, just in a,
Okay.
I guess like a firm-ish
Like
way,
kind of like
but
a.
not in like a, not in like a. It's hard to describe it. As her hand is here, I'm just, as her hand is here, I'm just.
Okay. She.
Yeah.
You grab on to her hand, and as this happens, she looks at you. She smiles at you, and she says, "If you must know, Marmaduke 9, my name is Monkai."
Hmm.
With that, I would like you to roll me a defensive form, whichever one you want.
Oh, a defensive form. I mean, it would likely be a dodge.
All right? Yeah, you can try to dodge it.
It's a 20. It's not very good.
Oh, you.
I can add
You.
to it, however, with like quick reflexes, maybe.
Yeah, if you do you have talent in it? You have talent in quick reflex,
It's rank 5.
but do you have talent in it? I think you have talent in it.
I think so.
Okay, then you can add to it. Yeah, if you like.
That brings it up to 27.
Okay, you see she goes to with her other hand grab onto your face. You dodge out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
As you dodge out of the way, what are you gonna do? You have her other hand in your grasp.
Did her name mean anything to me?
Oh, I did. Oh, what was that?
Oh, uh-oh. Hang on. Did her name mean
Connection.
anything?
Connection
Yeah.
is bad right now.
Oh, yeah. Did her name mean anything to me?
Okay, there we go. I think it's good.
Yeah. Did her name
What you?
mean anything to me?
Oh, did her name mean anything to you? No.
Okay. And it seems like she's hostile at this point.
She's trying to do something, like grab your head.
I'm going to activate superior flight.
Okay, you and as you fly up, you then hear and you hear you hear something coming towards you.
Okay. I am going
What do you do?
to swiftly dive toward. Okay. All right. Okay. So depending on what these things are, I have two plans. Can I get a
Okay.
measure of what these things are?
Okay. Do you have your radar sensor on?
I should do, yeah.
Okay.
It should still be on.
You look over and you see the shimmering lights from what looks like a total of 10 of these robotic organisms on the edge fly over towards you.
Okay. All right, that's going to alter the plan a little bit. I am going for the elevator.
Okay. You begin to fly. I'd like you to roll me a piloting check.
Wow.
You also hear the vibration of her voice emanate from all around you as you hear, "Don't try to fight, Marmaduke. You're not going to be able to escape here."
29.
29. You see one of them flies up to you to try to grab onto you. You're able to slip out barely out of his grip as you see these things have massive hands. Like they're so big that they're able to literally grab onto your entire torso and like basically your thighs as well.
Mm-hmm.
Most of your body.
Okay.
But they barely miss you as you fly towards the lift. You get up to the lift, and it does not open.
Can I like hit the call button? Is there a call button?
You go up to the panel and you try to like press onto it. It doesn't turn on.
Okay. Plan B in that case. All right. So, okay, I'm gonna. I have that pistol. I'm gonna kind of skirt around the outer wall. How high up does this chamber go? It goes up pretty high.
It goes pretty high. It goes probably about, I'd say, 75 feet or so.
Cool. I want to be up. I just want to kind of fly up, and I want to be flying around kind of up top. I don't want to be getting a measure of the room.
Okay. As you are flying upward, I'd like you to roll me another piloting check.
Yeah. Ooh. 27.
This time, one of them is able to grip you up against the ceiling, and you're just struggling. And you see it begins to constrict you. As this happens, I'd like you to roll me an acrobatics check to try to get out. Unless you want to try to figure out another way to get out of this.
Oh, okay. Well, the acrobatics was a. Are these things armed?
You're not sure. You can't tell.
Stealth field's still on. Okay. The acrobatics was a 24.
24. You try to maneuver out, but it constricts you so much that I need you to roll me an endurance check.
Mm. 24 again.
You're gonna take half of this. You take 13 points to your stamina.
Okay.
As that happens, it begins to hover you downward. At this point, you're constricted, and it lowers you directly to like right face to face with her. And you see that the light has been just following her as she moves.
Mm.
And she walks up to you.
Definitely want to be out of this grip.
Yeah. And she says, "Why do you struggle? I already told you that you're going to be apprehended."
Well, I don't want to be apprehended. Apprehending is boring and awful.
Seems that I might need to do a lot of work on you, Marmaduke.
Oh, not nearly enough. I have a laser pistol.
Yes. Your hands, though, it might be a hard shot if you try
Can I touch
to
it
do
at
anything.
least?
You feel for it? Yes, you can.
Can I overload it?
Okay. It's gonna be a hard check. And mechanics.
I don't think I have anything. What does mechanics run off?
Intellect.
Okay, I mean that's something.
It is.
I do have a couple of points in mechanics. Okay. Okay, it's a 22.
Okay, you try to click on it to try to overload the pistol. You do this over and over again, but you're not sure if you're doing it right. And then as you're clicking on it, I need you to roll me a straight agility.
Great agility. Oh, my agility's higher now. Straight agility. Going to be a 19.
19. You are flicking it to continuously try to overload the charge. And as you do this, your finger slips and hits the trigger. And
Potentially not the worst thing in the world.
potentially, we'll see. We'll see if it is the worst or if it's really good. Okay. The shot goes off. Shoots downward. 8, 8. shot fires off straight into the robot that is holding you, his actual leg, and it singes through, and you see the stealth field turn off, and you look over at it, and you see its eyes. There are about 4 eyes, and it has this mouth that has these rings that go through it, and it looks like these razor sharp rings that all just stare at you, and its
Sorry,
leg now
wasn't
is
supposed to do that.
completely singed, and you hear Monkai say, "Take him to one of the boxes."
One of the boxes.
And you see the
Oh.
robot begins to fly over to the wall. And as he flies over to the wall, you see the wall opens up, and he places you inside of it. And then as that happens, he lets go of you, and you see the door close behind you.
Where am
Suddenly
I?
a light turns on, and you're in this white box room.
Box. Oh. I'm in a box. What's in the box? Apart from me.
You still have your codex on you.
I mean, like, is there anything in the box? Is it just
No,
an empty
nothing.
box?
Completely
Do I still
empty.
have my laser pistol?
You do.
Okay. Enable vocal interface on codex.
Hello, Marmaduke 9.
Hello, codex. I'm in a box.
That you are.
How do I get out of the box?
You wait.
Waiting's boring. I have a laser pistol that I can overload. That's a way out of the box.
That will kill you.
Yes, it will. Yes, it will. So we're in a bit of a bother, aren't we? Because when she comes back, I'm not sure what's going to happen to me. This simulation of yours is quite upsettingly real.
You'll be out of here by the time that she comes back.
Ah. Ah.
You just need to wait, Marmaduke 9. There are many who are coming to save you.
Oh. Oh, good. In here, and hopefully out there, in the real world.
Especially out there. Your message got through.
Good.
I just don't know exactly what will happen. There are so many possibilities.
There seem to be you want me to be a part of this very badly, don't you?
No matter what you do, it will continue.
Yes, that's what I'm afraid of.
There's no stopping it, Marmaduke.
Mm. No, it seems a tedious inevitability. Why did you buy in to this plan?
Buy in? What do you mean?
You had to have been presented with some of it. You certainly know more about it than I do. You withhold enough. At some point, it must have been made clear to you, and you said, yes, that plan, that's something I'm going to follow.
I'm tired of what the core dictates to us. I'm tired of what these regal entities say is true and what is false. I'm tired of being let down constantly. And I've heard the cries of the people.
And what are they crying out for? Freedom, I suspect. Or an answer.
Peace.
War won't bring you peace. Certainly won't bring them peace. And
When this happens, there will be no void. There will be no photonic, no Evemore, no synchronous. There will only be you. Sigh. Marak. That is what I tell you.
no Liam. Oh, thank God. Oh, can we keep budding?
Liam has a role to play. As you sit there, do you continue to talk with him with the codex, or
Yes,
okay,
there is something else that occurs.
all right.
the architect of this plan. You're tired of the whims of the core, and you'll throw in with the whims of this planner. Who's to say that whoever made this plan wants peace at all? Seems like they want power.
I tell you this, Marmaduke 9. Sacrifices have been made. In order for this plan to come to fruition. A great sacrifice has been made. I do what I do for the sake of all who wish to be free.
Sacrifices are called gambles in certain books, certain history databases. And sometimes a gamble for a great victory is seen as totally worth it. There's a curious thing. I'm telling you how you could convince me. I've asked so many times, what is the plan? How is it going to benefit? How is it going to not cause harm, as it seems like it will? And yet I can't get an answer. You say it's beyond my comprehension. Well, try me.
No response.
Ah, of course, because it's much easier to not do that. That's hard. Convincing people is hard. Bending them, that can be quite a bit easier. Requires less brain power.
With that, no responses come back through the codex. The more you talk to it.
I'm going to pull out the pistol.
Okay?
How easy is it to set to overload? It's pretty easy.
Pretty much, you just have to recharge it and not shoot it.
And just keep doing that until it pops.
Yep.
All right. Warning indicator or anything like that?
Yes, there is.
Okay. It's going to start sort of lazily flicking the recharger.
You continue to do this. As you're doing this, The charge goes up through its meter, and as it goes through until it reaches the end, you see that it's fully there now, and then you go to flick it, and as you go to flick it, it's harder to flick, and you flick it, and
Oh no!
you go to flick it again, it becomes harder.
I want to leave it just so it's like one flick from boom.
Okay. I'd like you to roll me an athletics check.
Yeah. 14.
14. It is hard to do this with your thumb. You have to like really press down on it. It seems like, you know, the fail safe is, it makes it harder for you to even press down on it in order for it to overload. You're able to get to around like 2 before you feel like it's gonna probably like you feel like there's maybe like one more charge that you could put into it.
What
But
would
it's
happen if
really hard.
What would happen if I shot with it?
You're not sure. Oh, my camera. So do you want to shoot it? Or do you wait? And how long do you wait?
So the laser pistols. So if I shoot it, is it going to? Can I charge it back up to overload, or is it going to need like a reload?
You could see if there's enough charge in it in order to reload it, but you're not sure if it's going to get to a point where it can overload.
Okay.
There's also a potential chance that you're going to destroy the pistol by firing it off.
In that case, I will wait.
How long do you wait?
Until I get bored, so for about 3 minutes.
Okay. Wait 3 minutes.
Any games on the codex or anything like that?
You check your codex and you try to scroll through it. At this point, it doesn't even work.
Oh, you are a massive pain in the ass. Oh, you have you entertained just part of the plan.
If you wait longer, an hour passes, nothing happens.
So there's 2 charges in the laser pistol before it'll blow.
Yep.
I'm going to crank it one more time.
Another athletics check.
It's slightly better, but only slightly. 15 instead of 14.
You're able to do it, and it doesn't explode.
One more.
Another athletics check, please.
I'm just saying that out loud.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry. You have it there. Another hour passes. Nothing happens.
there any like surveillance things in here?
You look around, you don't see any cameras. No crevices either.
Big old box.
Mhm.
I'm going to speak to the codex. Just mainly just kind of thinking aloud. I'm not really expecting a response.
Okay.
But it's the only conversation I'm going to get is with myself.
Yep.
The thought occurs that if they put me in here with a laser pistol, they knew that laser pistol wasn't going to have any effect on the interior of this box. It'll certainly have an effect on me, but not give me an escape route. I wonder if I die in this simulation, what will happen to me? The body cannot live without the mind, or will I simply reset? Respawn somewhere?
No response. Another hour passes. Another hour passes.
I'm going to start to meditate a little.
Meditate?
Yeah.
Meditate on what specifically?
Oh, on sort of general discipline.
Okay.
Would you think about what the others are doing out there in the real world?
Go ahead and roll me a discipline check.
Oh no, I'm reading the wrong thing. 22.
22. You focus. Thinking about your friends.
And Liam.
You can't help but remember all the times that you spent with them. You remember playing Konami with them. You remember doing that shooting game with them, Liam and The Rock, being under the influence. You remember fighting alongside them. The memories are very pleasant. As you stay in it, you stay in it until you fall asleep. As you go and fall asleep, Marmaduke 9, you begin to see something. Looks like a light that is shining on your face. And you hear something. It sounds like some kind of alert system going off.
Am I
What do
dreaming
you do?
this?
It feels like a dream.
I'll open my eyes.
Your eyes are open.
Hmm.
You see there's a blinding light above you. You look around and you see you're inside a lavatory.
Am I alone?
It looks like it.
Is it the laboratory in the present or in the past?
In the present.
Can I
You
move?
hear the alarm going off. What'd you say?
Can I move?
You go to move. I'd like you to roll me another discipline. We'll check.
This one is getting disciples willed. Brings it up to 29.
29. You go to get up. As you get up, you feel this almost like this magnetic pole that is pulling you down. But you get up and you look down and you see your body. As you are lifting your body, your own essence up and getting over, you're sitting there at the table. You see the alert flashing and you see a screen that is dark. Everything's kind of dark. The only light that is going on right now is the alert.
Can I get up?
You get up, and as you get up, you almost like float off of yourself.
As in superior flight or zero gravity?
As in, what's it called? As in you feel like you don't have a physical body, like
Wait,
an astral projection.
So am I still on the...
It looks like your body is still bound up. It is bound up on the bed.
Huh.
With a light shining down on it. It's a very faint light.
Can I manipulate anything in the environment?
You go to try to touch anything, you can't touch anything.
Lame. I'm going to have a little explore.
You begin to fly through the door, and as you fly through the door, you see forms rushing around, and they look like they have these weapons that they're flinging at what looks like Corps Command officers down the hall, firing off at the forms.
Ooh. Do I recognize anybody?
No, you do not.
Oh.
They are all in uniform and have helmets on.
Are they winning?
You can't really tell At this point, it looks like they're firing back and forth between each other.
Is my captor around?
You have not seen him.
I want to look for him. Where do I think he would be?
Maybe the bridge.
All right, I'm going to head. If I can move through walls.
You're gonna go up.
Yeah.
I would like you to roll me another discipline check.
30 with Disciples Will.
Okay, you're moving up. The further you get, you can feel this force trying to pull you back towards your body, but you're able to still continue to move upward, and you finally hover through until you reach the bridge, and you see Hagar at the systems along with two other forms there. And you see him slamming his fist against it, and he's like, "This wasn't supposed to happen."
Can I? He probably won't be able to see me, but I would hate myself if I didn't at least go up behind him and go, "Boo!"
You go up behind him. No, he doesn't see you. You do that. He looks distraught. He's like, "I thought that I would be part of it. Part of all of it. I have a crucial role to play, right?"
Oh.
As this happens, you suddenly see the door, and he looks back. He's like, and you see out of his back these tendrils begin to flow out of him that look like these like blue electricity, kind of like squid arms that begin to flow out of him, and then you see his body begin to shift, and it begins to contort, and he's just like, "I'll kill them all." And with that, the door slides open. And as it slides open, you see stepping through is a plasmatic knight.
Hmm.
And with that, we are going to end the session there.
A plasmatic knight. All right.
That was that was an interesting one. Things are getting closer to the end.
And you thought it would be a short one.
I know. I need to get off so I could prep for New Age.
Hoping it would be a short one. But
yeah. Sorry. We just kept going.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you all for listening to the 6th entry of Fragments Reborn, and listening or watching or whatever you're doing. Please like, share, subscribe, follow the podcast as well with all the different series that are going on, because there's a lot that also adds to not just this series but the New Age and everything, and you get a lot more understanding of what the heck this plan might be. Maybe. We'll see.
Okay.
But yeah, thank you all for listening, and if death comes to you, may you be reborn in power.
Comment if you want the mustache to come back.
I thank you for listening to Fragments Reborn. Be sure to listen to the New Age campaign to get more context to Marmaduke's Fragments. Also, if you want to be reborn yourself, you can subscribe as a Chosen to access Chosen creation and exclusive Codex entries. Until next time, travelers, be safe, stay safe, and if death comes to you, May you be reborn in power.